Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of my series on how to reload 223. The last video I just kind of talked about collecting brass, sorting it, and then decapping it with a universal decapper by Lee. Now since I decap first, I clean after I decap. Helps clean out the primer pockets. It's just a process I like a little bit better. If you are going to decap with your full length resizing die, you want to make sure that brass is clean first. You don't run dirty brass through that resizing die and get it all gunged up and scratched up. Alright, so now the way that I clean brass is I use a homemade tumbler that I made for wet tumbling with stainless steel pins. It's not perfect. Definitely not up to par with professional, commercial grade tumblers, but it works. Spins a little slower than your commercial grade tumblers or even some homemade tumblers. I didn't use any pulley systems or anything. So it does rotate a little slower than most of those, but it still works fine. I might have to leave it on there a little longer than others for the same results. But I'm usually not in a rush to clean brass or to reload. I kind of do it in my spare time or whatever. So I try to do a lot of brass prep, have it done, and then when I'm ready to reload, it's ready to go. So it being a little bit slower doesn't bother me, but I have the ability to reload a lot more brass at once if I want, because I'm using a huge, I think a 5-inch PVC pipe. I'll have to double check, I'm not sure, but it's pretty big. And then I have a smaller drum that I made as well. For when I want to do smaller batches like the 223 batch that we did in the previous video. I don't have to have a huge drum for just a little bit of brass. There are a lot of people that follow a very specific recipe for the brass to pins to lemishine to Dawn dish soap ratio. Honestly, I just kind of wing it. I put a couple drops of Dawn usually, just a pinch of lemishine. You don't want to put too much because I've seen a lot of people have their brass get kind of nasty looking when they use too much lemishine. Less is more, it seems like, when cleaning brass, except for like the pins, I usually put as many pins in there as I can because it's just more surface area being touched by pins and getting cleaned up, things like that. So let's go take a look at the tumbler, my process doing that. You guys can see my disgusting looking tumbler that I made and the drum. It's all homemade, but it works. Alright, so here is the tumbler in all of its dirty glory. Like I said, I made this. This is just a slab of wood, some 1/2-inch steel rods, just like this. Some pillow block bearings. I used some wood underneath to get everything up and level. This is a windshield wiper motor from a Saturn I pulled out of a junkyard. This is a computer power supply that's hooked up to the motor. And then I have my PVC drum that I made. All I gotta do is flip this switch on. The power goes to the motor turns and spins this rod. This one just kind of free spinning. So the weight and everything will just kind of make this spin with it. So yeah, decent little motor, decent little tumbler setup. So, alright, so let's go ahead, get some brass and pins and everything else in this drum, and get to cleaning. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, get the brass in there. And then you put in the stainless steel pins. I use pins made by Stainless Tumbling Media. They've worked really well for me. They're local to me. Great bunch of guys that make this and sell it. These are the measurements for the pins. And then they actually do have a recipe on the back of here that you can go by. Like I said, I just kind of wing it. So let's add the pins. Now we'll add some water. Now we got water in there. So this isn't Dawn dish soap, this is all we have. But it should still work pretty well. So I'll just put, I don't know, a little bit in there. More than a couple drops, I guess. Then we got some lemishine. You know, put like too much in there. Some people use like a 9mm case to measure it, but it just depends how much you're doing. I don't know if you can kind of see, you can even see the water starting to turn kind of a white now just because that lemishine is added. Okay, so we got our brass, our pins, our water, our dish soap, and our lemishine. Now we just gotta top this off. Now, as I'm sure you probably noticed, I think this is a 6-inch in diameter PVC pipe. Obviously there's a reducer on here, so it drops to 4 inches. So what I use, a lot of people use these kind of rubber flexible caps, and it's just, I don't know, I don't really like it. This works, this has worked really well for me. I haven't had any problems. Easier to put on and off, I think. It doesn't have the little pipe clamp swinging around on it, so I just like this a little bit better, I think. So I'm gonna loosen that up just to make sure get on there. That's on there pretty snug, so that should be pretty good. So now let's throw it on the tumbler and let it rip. Now, put it on the tumbler, and then flip this on. There's even like, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of bumping up. It's kind of unintentional. There's like a ridge in this plastic here, and it kind of bumps it up, which I kind of like. It kind of helps agitate it a little bit. So, like I said, not a perfect tumbler, but I mean, it cost me like, I don't know, probably like 40 bucks to make or something. And when I want to do a really big batch, I got this huge thing. You're not going to be able to get a tumbler to do something like that for $40. Alright guys, so that's how I do my cleaning. Again, everybody does everything differently when they reload. Some will do a much different ratio of, you know, dish soap and lemishine and all that. Some do dry tumbling. Dry tumbling is fine, using like corncob media, whatever. That cleans brass just as well. I just got on the wet tumbling bandwagon, and it's been working pretty well. There's no right or wrong when it comes to cleaning brass, as long as it gets clean. Some say you should clean the primer pockets, some say it doesn't matter. Depends on your application and how picky you are, I guess. So anyway, I'm gonna let that tumble for, you know, a few hours, probably most of the day. Like I said, it does take a little bit longer with my slower tumbler, but it was cheap and it still works, just slower. So I'll let that run for a while, and we'll get back a little bit later. It was about 11:30 when I put it in, so I'll try to keep track of when I check it and show you guys, so you can kind of know how many hours it ran. Alright guys, sorry about the lighting, it's probably not as good. I'm not using my lighting that I usually do, just whatever's in the garage. Hello Callie, that's my dog. And so let's dump this out, see what it looks like. It's been running for about 6 or 7 hours. I just left it running all day, so let's see how clean it is. So I just have this 5-gallon bucket, and then I have this Frankfurt Arsenal quick and easy standard media separator. It was $10 at my local gun store. I put that in there. There are other media separators you can use, but this is what I use for now. Comes right off. Make sure you get all the brass pins out of there. You can see brass is pretty clean. Try not to shine the light too much on it, but you can see it's pretty clean. It's not as shiny as it could be. Leaving it in longer might help with that. I may not have put enough lemishine in there. Either way, it's clean. Then what I'll do, I still got all the stainless steel pins in here. Kind of shake them up. get all those pins to fall through the grate. And then I'll shake all the pins out of the cases, especially with the 223 being a bottleneck. It'll capture some pins in there. So I'll go through and do that with all of it, and then we'll go to the next step, which is drying the brass. So what I've been doing as of late is I have these little mesh nettings. I take the brass. The brass is still wet with water. Okay. Fan's been running for a while. They seem nice and dry. Said you might want to double check for pins because sometimes they'll stick in there when it's still wet. So I'll usually still check these as I'm going through them, but most of the pins get out when by the time you get to this stage. And then next you lube them up, size them, measure them, and trim them if needed. We'll go over that in the next episode. Alright guys, I hope that video was helpful. Probably a little bit shorter, a little bit simpler of a video, nothing too complicated with cleaning brass, but still part of the process that needs to be done. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. If you're new here and you want to see future content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also have some other links down in the description below to my social media pages and just some other things that I think you guys might like. If you guys like my hat, this 2A hat is by RevolutionaryPatriot.com. Great company. I have a discount code in the description below for 10% off. Go ahead and check that out. I don't get anything from that. That's just to help you guys get a discount on some good clothes. Bravo Concealment also makes some of the best holsters I've used so far. That I am currently carrying the Torsion from my MP9C, and it's fantastic. So check those out as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep shooting.